Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we strip down complicated subjects into usable knowledge. Today, we are getting into Porsche's next big thing in electric, the 2026 Cayenne EV. This feels like more than just news, it's kind of a roadmap for performance SUVs, right?
Absolutely. And our job today really is to piece together all the bits of information floating around. We're looking at early estimates, some prototype driving notes, and confirmed specs from places like Car and Driver and CarWow. It's crucial for you to understand we're blending preliminary numbers with solid facts, but the overall picture, pretty staggering.
Yeah, it's the electric follow-up to a truly iconic Porsche. And they're definitely not playing it safe. It comes after the smaller Macan EV, and the ambition here is just wow. Let's start with the headline grabber. A family SUV pushing close to 1,000 horsepower. Okay, let's unpack that.
It really turns the whole idea of SUV power on its head. The sources, well, they point to three main versions at launch. Your base model isn't basic at all, mind you. We're talking around 500 horsepower. Then there's an S model, stepping things up into the 600 horsepower zone.
And the top dog, the turbo. That's the one getting close to that four-figure number, almost 1,000 horsepower.
Yep. And all that grunt gets managed the way you'd expect in a high-performance EV. Dual motors, front and rear axles. So all-wheel drive is standard. But what's really, fascinating is how that power actually translates to speed.
Especially that turbo model's acceleration. That's the number that jumps out.
It is. And this is where putting together the data really matters.
Right.
Porsche is claiming the Cayenne EV Turbo will do 0 to 60 miles per hour, well under 3 seconds. Now, think about this for a second. This electric SUV, even though it's carrying, maybe 1,000 pounds, maybe more in batteries compared to the gas version, it's going to be quicker than the current gas Cayenne Turbo GT.
Yeah.
That's a huge statement. It basically says internal combustion's reign in performance SUVs. It's ending.
That kind of raw speed is just mind-bending. But it needs the infrastructure to back it up. If it's pulling that much power, how is Porsche tackling the charging side of things? We have to talk about power delivery and efficiency now because the battery tech is, everything here.
It is. They're building on and improving their 800-volt system. We first saw that in the Taycan. That higher voltage is key. It means faster charging, more power, less heat, thinner cables. The works.
And the cooling tech seems like the real breakthrough this time. Double-sided cooling for the battery pack. That lets them push the charge rate way up. They're talking up to 400 kilowatts peak.
Exactly. And that speed translates directly into convenience for you, the driver. Early reviews suggest this Cayenne EV will charge faster than any Porsche EV yet. They're promising 10 to 80% charge in about 16 minutes. 16. That pretty much changes the game for long trips, doesn't it? That traditional long EV charging stop. Maybe not so long anymore.
And a key detail for listeners here in North America, this is the first Porsche EV getting the NACS port, the North American Charging Standard. So it's ready for the Tesla network and everything that follows.
Definitely important. Now, on range, we see the usual thing with early specs, a bit of variation. Some sources mention a 108 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Others say 113 kilowatt-hour. It highlights why we need to be clear these are early days for some numbers. But either way, the resulting range looks strong.
The first estimate we have is the WLTP figure. That's the European test cycle, usually a bit optimistic compared to the US. That one comes in around 373 miles.
Okay, so translating that to the US EPA standard, which is stricter, you're probably looking realistically at something closer to 320 miles. Which, puts it right there with competitors like the BMW iX, maybe a bit less than the very top-end range of the Mercedes EQS SUV currently.
But it's not just the range number in isolation, is it? It's the combo. A solid 320 miles, plus you can add most of that back in just 16 minutes. That feels like how you actually tackle range anxiety properly.
Right. So, moving beyond just the speed and charging. Let's talk about the other side of the coin. It's still an SUV, it needs to be practical, luxurious, and the tech inside, quite a shift.
The practical numbers are actually really strong. Towing capacity, 7,700 pounds. That's serious capability. Same as a Rivian R1S and 2,700 pounds more than the Cadillac Estique? That's real-world useful.
And to handle that towing, plus the performance, the chassis tech is pretty advanced. You'll have the option of Porsche's active ride suspension. It's clever stuff. Controls body roll, can even lean into corners, smooths out bumps. Even the models without active ride get sophisticated suspension, dual-chamber air springs, 2 valve dampers. Basically, it means the car can adjust its ride and handling much more precisely than before.
Okay, I have to jump in here on something the reviews mentioned. This fake engine noise? Isn't that kind of counterintuitive for an EV? Are they just trying to keep the V8 fans happy?
Yeah, it's certainly a nod to the past, yeah. Reviewers actually said this engineered sound, pumped into the cabin. It sounded almost exactly like the V8 in the gas Cayenne GPS. So Porsche clearly thinks that sound, that sort of emotional feedback, is still vital, especially for their performance buyers moving to electric.
Hmm, interesting. Speaking of engaging the driver or maybe distracting them, let's talk screens. This Cayenne EV apparently has the most screen real estate of any Porsche ever.
It's definitely screen heavy.
Yeah.
You got three main ones, a big 14.25-inch digital display for the driver, then the curved central infotainment screen, and then there's an optional 14.9-inch screen just for the passenger.
That passenger screen always sparks debate, privacy, distraction.
Sure, but the tech is smart. It uses a filter so the passenger can watch videos or whatever, but the driver can't really see it. No glare, no distraction, and it's all topped off with an augmented reality head-up display. Projects, directions, warnings, right onto the road ahead, basically.
Hearing all that together, the luxury, the actual towing capability, the smart suspension, and then that frankly bonkers 1,000 horsepower turbo, I have to admit, just laying it all out, this combination makes the 2026 Cayenne EV, well, it's genuinely a dream car for me. The sheer breadth of what it can do, it's something else, hopefully, maybe one day.
That kind of dream combination definitely comes at a price, though. Which brings us neatly to our last bit, pricing and where this fits in the market.
Right. It slots in right after the Macan EV in Porsche's electric plan. We're expecting it late 2025 as a 2026 model year car. So what's the damage going to be for all this tech and performance?
Well, pricing is very much an estimate right now, and the figures vary quite a bit. The U.S. source gives a pretty wide starting range, maybe $80,000 to $120,000 for the entry model. But then you look overseas, like the UK, and the estimates there suggest it could start around 150,000 pounds. And that top turbo trim, with options, could easily push towards 200,000 pounds.
Wow, yeah, that range really shows how early these numbers are. But it clearly signals this is aiming high in the luxury market.
Absolutely. And because we don't have firm prices yet, the thinking is that the middle S model, with its, only 600 horsepower, that might hit the sweet spot. You get insane performance way beyond what we thought possible just years ago, but maybe without that huge price jump to the turbo. It seems like the value play, relatively speaking.
So, summing up, a heavy SUV, faster than proper sports cars, tows like a truck, and recharges incredibly quickly.
Which leaves us with the big question, really. The one only driving the final car will answer. Can this electric Cayenne capture that same magic? That blend of thrilling driving feel and everyday usability that made the original Cayenne such a hit for Porsche.
That really is the $1,000,000 or maybe 200,000-pound question. But thinking about that 16-minute charge and the sheer power of the turbo, maybe this is it. Is this the first luxury electric SUV that just erases both range and performance anxiety completely? Something for you to chew on as we wait for these to hit the streets. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive. To make sure you stay updated on groundbreaking EVs like this one, definitely follow the channel. We'll catch you on the next one.